Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on graphic design contests, things like 99 designs, but not them specifically. And a lot of you have been asking about this, and that's why I felt it was important to do this video. It wasn't the video that I had planned for today, but I felt it was important to do this video because it's an important topic in the graphic design industry and profession. So we're going to talk about graphic design and crowdsourcing and these design contest. And I think it's interesting that they call them contests because the idea is that in a contest, there's typically some kind of winner. And the thing is, I think that in graphic design contests that both the clients and the designers are losers in that contest. I think the only real winner is the contest site itself. I think that the crowdsourcing site is the only winner since they get fees and portions of the money, whatever they're getting in terms of that from the contest holder, the company, the client, whoever it is. And I think they're the only ones who are really winning here because the reason I say that is the graphic designers who give up their time for free in the hopes of winning, grabbing this low-hanging fruit of the prize from a design contest, one, they're not getting any exposure. They're getting exposure to clients who didn't think they were good enough because they didn't pick them to win. And so I don't know what the value proposition of that is. And then a lot of these clients, because they don't want their ideas to go out there, they don't let the images be public anyway. So that's really weird. And it depends on what site you're on, but that's something that some of them do. But you have that part of it going on. And then there's the fact that for the clients, they're not getting the relationship with the graphic designer. They're not being able to dictate things directly in real time, get corrections, call them on the phone. They're not able to build a rapport. They're not able to convey their personality and their view to the graphic designer for the graphic designer to have an understanding of what they would like and what can be different. It's very impersonal. It's, a real lack of the true value of having a one-on-one relationship with whoever you're working with and being able to be part of the process. The process of graphic design is lost in this entire thing. And it's just a shame because there's a real value to working with somebody and being able to bounce ideas off of each other and work creatively. I think that the partnerships I've had with my clients, I think besides the great personal connections that we've had and the relationship we built, I think the synergy, I think the results that we got that were the best were because we were both hitting this at 100 miles per hour, bringing our maximum effort and creativity to the table and working together to produce something. It wasn't just me doing what I like. It wasn't just them saying, here, make this, and I'm a pair of hands. It was a collaborative effort. We worked together on something and created something awesome that neither one of us could do by ourselves. And I think that is completely missing. I think it's robbed by crowdsourcing in the graphic design process. And I think that if you don't want to invest as a business person, and I'm going to step out, I'm going to take my designer hat off. I'm going to talk and put on my business hat, and I'm going to say, look, if I'm hiring somebody to do any kind of work for me, and I do hire people to do work for me for certain things, I want that one-on-one relationship. I want them to respect and understand and value my time. I want to have the insight of who I am, what I value, what my end game is, and what I need from them, what my expectations are from the deliver. And I don't feel that I can do that through the passive nature of a contest and crowdsourcing site. I don't feel like I can get that value. I don't feel like I can get to know this person and that I can feel comfortable to trust them with the value of my brand and representing and creating something that represents me. I can't do that with a stranger. I don't have to meet them face to face. I don't have to look them in the eye, but I do have to feel like I have a connection with them. And I don't think a crowdsourcing site does that for me. I think that too many options is a bad thing. You're like, well, we get all these options. I'm a decision maker. You know how many decisions I want to make? I want to make as few as possible. You know how many options I want? I want 3 to 5 because anything else is overwhelming. I might go as far as 10. Anything else is too much. It's overwhelming. I will get bogged down and I will get granular, and that will eat up more of my time from the CEO hat having to make a decision instead of being able to execute. I need to execute on things. I need to make a decision, narrow it down for me of what the best 3 things are. I need someone to get it down to 3 things so I can say, A, B, C, chicken, ribs, fish. I can make a decision. You ever get a menu at a restaurant and just feel overwhelmed and the waitress has to come back to you 2 or 3 times before you can decide on what you want? And sometimes you don't even get to that. Well, what do you recommend? Because you don't want to make a decision. You want to pass the buck at that point. I do that all the time because too many options for me is just too much distraction, it's too much noise for me to really concentrate on what I want and what the value is and to make a determination. So I think there's the process of crowdsourcing is very negative in that way, because having all the options, having too many options is way too many. It's like when photographers overshoot a wedding. When photographers are like, oh, I'm gonna get you 5,000 pictures. 5,000 pictures? Are you kidding me? That's too many. That's like, how many like important moments are you gonna get out of 5,000? No, it's gonna be less than 1,000, and there's gonna be like really maybe 300 or 400 really good solid moments in those, so and that might be my opinion. I think that's a valid opinion, but obviously I'm going to be biased toward my opinion, so whatever. But I think you guys understand the gist of what I'm saying here. And so I think that from a client side, you lose the personal relationship, you get too many options, overwhelmed, and then the quality is not going to be tremendous, in my opinion, because here's the other problem. A designer who doesn't have upfront cash for their time, or the guarantee of some cash for their time, they can't put in their maximum amount of creativity. They can't put in the maximum amount of their time, because if they're doing these crowdsourcing sites, the odds are that they're not an established designer yet that's working full time. It means that they probably have to punch a clock somewhere, so they can't give this the attention that someone else would as a full-time freelancer, or even somebody that's a part-time freelancer that's still putting in like 1 or 2 client projects a week or a month or whatever to be able to put in focus here. Because if they're competing in these contests, you gotta believe, and you can see it for yourself sometimes by researching them, that they're competing in 10 and 20 contests in the same week. If they're doing that, it means they're mass producing their work. And I'm not speaking for everyone, I'm speaking in general terms here, but for what we're talking about and for the numbers, it's okay to do that. A generalization doesn't mean that's wrong, but in probably 90% of the time, it's mass produced work that they're spending not even an hour per logo on. And that's what you're getting. You're getting a logo. You're getting something that's going to represent your company, something that's going to be your face for your brand that someone spent less than an hour on, and you think that that's okay? That's why real logo designers, and I don't say that to be dismissive of people who are doing the crowdsourcing thing. I'm not saying they're not real designers, but what I'm saying is professional logo designers who are charging a premium. That's what I'm qualifying here. And so I'll strike that real part to be fair. Logo designers who are charging a premium, the reason they're charging a premium is because they've invested in their tools. Maybe they've invested in a Mac. They've invested in the Adobe Creative Cloud for $600+ a year. They've invested in their education at tens of thousands of dollars. They're not going to give you something for nothing after all of that investment, and you shouldn't want them to. You shouldn't ask them to, because as a business owner, if you feel, well, I don't want to take a risk, I've never worked with them before, it's like, you're in business. If you can't take risk, get out of business. That's what business is. Business is about taking risks. Business is about investment of time. It's about commitment, and it's about value for value, not about taking as much as you can, not about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this designer to do this work for free and everything. Because if your customers, if your clients were trying to approach you that way, you'd be insulted, you'd be upset, and you'd be out of business. So to conduct fair and proper business, it comes back to the golden rule of treating people how you want to be treated. We're taught this at 5 years old. How do we forget it at 25, 35, 50? How do we forget something so basic that we understood and that made up a framework of our life at 5 years old, and then we put on a business hat and all of a sudden that goes away? No. Because if someone said, well, I don't know you, I've never heard of you, give me your muffins for free, or give me your beer for free. I don't know, you're not a name brand beer, you're not Budweiser. I want to drink at your bar for free. You're going to tell them to get out. So don't devalue designers in the way that you don't want to be devalued as a business person. Be fair. You know what? Someone's going to make a commitment to you of not only their time, but their creativity, their ideas, and their effort and their energy. That's worth something. Pay something for that. Take that risk. And if you can't, you're saying that you don't feel confident to take risk in business and that you don't feel confident to invest in people. That's a losing mentality. Why would you identify yourself as having a losing mentality instead of being a winner? Winners take chances confident that it will pay off. And winners are comfortable to say, you know what, I can take a loss every now and again. It's not going to hurt any skin off of my nose. If like $200, $300, $500 for something creative is soul crushing to your business, then maybe you need to invest your own time to learn how to do it yourself. And that's okay. I do that. I've done that for a lot of things that I want done. I've invested the time to learn a skill and say that, you know what, I don't want to have to outsource that and pay that money. So if I'm not monetizing this time right now anyway, I'll not watch Game of Thrones and I'll do this, or I'll learn that and I'll put the time in and I'll get it done, and it won't cost me anything except my time. But if you value your time, if you're a CEO who's making tens of thousands of dollars of decisions, then it should be no sweat off your nose to sit there and pay a designer for their time at a much lower premium than what your time is worth to get the job done. Designers, you think this is the only way you can get clients? Get out of the house. Get out of the office. Go out there and network. Go live in the real world. Go talk to business people at small business and local events. Talk to friends and family about who might need your services, who needs a new logo, who needs a new business card, who needs a new website. You can do better than crowdsourcing. You can do better than giving your work away for free. And if you're going to give your work away for free, give it to a charity, give it to a noble cause that you can be proud of when this thing is sitting in your portfolio that will attract people to you, if for nothing else, not even for your creativity, for being a decent human being and for caring about something more than yourself and more than money. So that is how I feel about the crowdsourcing argument. I feel that designers lose because they aren't being valued for their time and creative effort and skills and energy and the investment they've made. I feel businesses lose because they get into bad habits and don't build relationships with creatives that can deliver tremendous value for them. And I feel the only winners are the crowdsourcing sites themselves. I feel that in a way they market a dream to, and this is just my opinion, I feel they market a dream to graphic designers of, oh, you'll win this contest, you'll win prestige, and you might win this money, and, you know, just put your work out there. And they market to businesses as, oh yeah, you take no risk, and you get all these choices from all these great designers. And I don't feel like it's legit. I feel like the only one really winning is the crowdsourcing site, because someone thinks that they're getting something of value for cheap, which I don't feel they are. I feel that they're actually losing value, and that for whatever they're paying or whatever they think they're paying, they could just have a one-on-one. They're designers, and it's okay to like hire someone to do a $250 logo design or project or whatever. I don't have an issue with the pricing because that's around what these contests are, but I feel like just hire somebody. Just find somebody whose work you like, look at their portfolio, call them on the phone, email them, build a relationship, hire them, work with them, pay them half up front and half on result, and build that relationship, and then use them again and use them again until you decide you don't like the work that they're putting out, and just do that. And if you're like, oh, well, I need to find clients, it's like, well, send your portfolio out, talk to people, you know, build relationships, contact people in social, ask friends and family members, ask coworkers, whatever, ask former clients that were happy with your work, ask your professors, or if you're going to work for free, volunteer for a charity or a cause or something in your community that actually creates value for somebody who's not trying to make a buck off of you. I mean, do something. Get clients. You can get clients. We were getting clients before these websites existed. That's not the issue. The issue is not, well, I can't find clients, I can't get clients. It's like, no, don't be lazy about it. I'm going to be frank there. Don't be lazy and say, well, this is the only way I can get clients. There are people getting clients. You can get clients. You are better than that. I want you to understand that I'm not jabbing at you. I'm not trying to insult you. I think that honestly, that designers, for those of you watching that are designers, I think you can do better than crowdsourcing. I think you can do better than Fiverr, whole other argument. I think you can do better than that. I really believe that you can. I think the main issue is confidence, that you don't believe and you feel somehow guilty about charging for something that you're enjoying doing. You know what? Boxers love what they do and they get paid a lot of money for it. They get paid to get punched in the face because that's what they like. Multi-million CEOs, I mean, a lot of them love what they do, and I don't think they're shy about charging for it. I don't know where this mentality of artists not wanting to be paid or feeling guilty about being paid, I don't know how that happened. I don't understand it personally. But, I mean, it happens. I think most of us have been there, but I can't identify with the person that I was that, you know, might have felt that way 15 years ago. I can't identify with that person anymore. So it's very difficult for me to, you know, see where someone's going to feel guilty about charging for something they enjoy. If it creates actual value for someone else and someone else is going to profit from it, why wouldn't you charge for that? So that's my thing. Now, if it's because, well, it's for a good cause or because they're a friend or family member, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But Don't give away free work and take money and bread out of somebody else's mouth because you feel guilty. You feel guilty? Then don't put your work out there. Keep it for yourself and don't take away from other people who need to work for a living. I feel be respectful in that way. And if you're a business owner, you know very well that if people handled you as a customer or a client the way that you're willing to handle creatives, you can't go to your electrician and do, yeah, if this works out, I'll pay it. Or if I don't know you, so I'm not going to pay. You should do it for free and build up your credibility as an electrician. They're not going to do that. Plumber's not going to do that. A roofer's not going to do that. Your bankers aren't going to do that. Your internet service providers aren't going to do that. Your IT technicians aren't going to do that. I don't know why you try to conduct business with creative professionals as a business person differently than you do with any other people. You don't treat your accountants, your lawyers, your contractors, your doctors, you don't do any of them like that. So I don't know why you would think it's okay to do that to designers, to writers, to photographers, to fine artists. I don't get where the cutoff for you is. Is it because they do something creative and because they do something they enjoy versus you feel that these other people, some of them enjoy their work, some of them enjoy being plumbers, some of them enjoy being electricians, some of them enjoy being accountants, some of them love being lawyers and suing people. So I feel like the issue becomes that you feel and somehow treat creatives differently, when the interesting part about that is I'm not taking away from anybody that's a laborer, but we do labor. And on top of doing labor, we have artistic ability and creativity and sometimes marketing savvy on top of technical ability. So we do actual work and time, and then we have technical skills and software skills, and then creativity on top of that, which means that our value proposition, if anything, can and should be higher than someone who's only grinding out time and physical effort. And that's the bottom line, and that's why the best people in their professions creatively charge a premium rate. And so to then try to convince young people starting out that they shouldn't try and aspire to that, and that they don't have a right to ask for anything because they enjoy the work or because that you think it's just doodling or that it's just them playing in Photoshop, is disingenuous to what it actually takes to deliver and execute on something that you're not capable yourself of doing. And the reality is, even if you could do it yourself, your value as a CEO is higher than theirs probably. So they're really selling you back your time of not frustrating yourself with something they can do better. And I think you need to respect that. I think that everyone needs to respect each other in business and act appropriately and follow the golden rule that we all did when we were 5 years old. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. It applies to life, it applies to business, and I think we'll all be happier the more of us follow that. But anyway, this was more or less my rant on design and crowdsourcing. I know some of you will have a different opinion than me, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but if you're not respectful in the comment section, I'm not just going to let you have your say and be disruptive to the community that I've built. So if you say something that I think is over the top, or if you use profanity, I'm going to delete your comment, I might report it, and I might ban you. So just be respectful of everybody, and I think that we'll have a great conversation, and I think that we'll be able to take things from a different point of view and really see what we can do about bringing everyone to a better understanding of how they can work together. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it got a little serious there, but anyway, I really do feel like it's an important issue. I'm glad so many of you brought it up, so thank you for that. Like this video if you like it. Share it with friends. Share it with somebody that you think would benefit from it. Don't forget to leave me your comments in the comment section below. I really want to hear what you think and how you feel about this issue. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.